Welcome back. For our top domestic story this hour, we remember Jemel Roberson, the 26-year-old security guard who was shot and killed by police after he successfully chased down a man who opened fire on a local bar. Roberson was working his shift at Manny's Blue Room Lounge on November 11th when a drunk patron who'd been asked to leave returned to the bar and opened fire. He ran after the shooter, eventually pinning him down to the ground, according to witnesses. That's when police arrived on the scene and shot Roberson. While bargoers told local media they yelled, "He's a security." While the officer responsible for the killing has been placed on administrative leave, still receiving pay and benefits, this week U.S. District Judge Joan Lefkoe blocked a motion filed by the Roberson family attorney requesting the name of that officer be released. Meanwhile, the village of Robbins suspended the business license of Manny's Blue Room Lounge after an administrative hearing on Tuesday. Roberson's community gathered in the parking lot of the Midlothian Police Department to call for an investigation into the murder.
We're here out of concern for our community. We're here because we love Jemel. Jemel was, as we now call him, the church's musician. Yes. Yeah. He played for all of our churches. None of us can make a particular claim of being his pastor because we all pastor him in various ways. I'm here because Jemel played for my grandmother's funeral just on Friday. He rendered his services unto our family, talked to him Friday night, jokingly as Jemel always does. Jemel loved life. Right now we have a family that's devastated. We have a mother that's devastated. We have a community that's devastated. And not only am I here just out of love for Jemel, I'm here standing as a black man who's just tired of being mistreated, tired of things going the wrong way, tired of the narrative being the exact same in every situation.
With the police killing of Jemel Roberson in question earlier today, I was joined by Roberson family attorney Gregory Kulis.
The family is very distraught. Mrs. Roberson has not gone on air, has not given interviews. She wants to properly bury her son and give him the appropriate funeral services. It's tough, and I asked her what she's going to do for Thanksgiving, and she said she's going to just have a quiet Thanksgiving at home. Jemel was a good young man, working hard, as everybody knows, played in Oregon in different churches throughout the West Side. He did what he was supposed to do. He was paid to be a security officer, and he died doing his job. He, in fact, was a hero. He more than likely saved some lives in the process, and unfortunately was shot by this police officer who arrived on the scene and made a complete disastrous judgment call.
And he is a father, too, I understand, right, Mr. Roberson?
He has a child that with a young lady, and so this child will be without a father. He called this young man his son, and through the process we'll determine the rightful heirs to his estate. But a lot of people have been devastated as a result of the loss of Jemel. Not only just his family members, the community, people he dealt with in church, people he worked with.
And that was very clear in that press conference we just heard of his community rallying to really illustrate the kind of human being he was. What is your reaction to Judge Lefkoe's move to side with police and her decision to block your motion requesting the identity of the officer who killed Jemel be revealed? Why do authorities want to keep this secret?
I don't know why authorities do want to keep this secret. One of the things that is involved in this is the state police is currently doing an investigation. Normally they hide behind the investigatory privilege and indicate that while an investigation is pending, they will give no information. Unfortunately, earlier this week, they issued a, quote, press release where they disseminated certain preliminary information which I've never ever seen in all my years of handling police shootings in the state of Illinois. They indicated certain things which inferred that they felt maybe the shooting was justified. I don't know why they did that. So we marched into court after we had issued a subpoena to the state indicating that any investigatory privilege that the state may invoke is hereby waived. The court did not say they don't have to turn over the information, but the court gave the state of Illinois, which filed filed a written response to the middle of December to comply with my subpoena. In essence, the court said, well, maybe I was a little premature in jumping the gun on this motion. Again, I told the court we did this because the state specifically told me over the phone they were going to give me absolutely no information. I asked who the shooter was. They said, we can't tell you that. I asked if there was any video cam, any dash cam, body cam. They said, we can't tell you that. Yet they then asked me for my witnesses' names and phone numbers. This was after they'd issued this preliminary. No, I've never. I've been called before by the state police or investigatory agents asking for information that I may have to help them. But in this case, I've never seen, within 2 days of a shooting, a press release issued with, quote, some preliminary facts or findings. Again, they've denied that they're findings. They just indicated that this is some preliminary evidence that they've released to the public. Again, I felt that they were cherry-picking the evidence, and I told the court that the community wants to know, the legal community wants to know, his family wants to know the name of the shooter so we can proceed in the court system.
I think the media would like to know as well. I just want to jump in and ask, based on what witnesses have told you, are you confident bystanders adequately informed police that Jemel was a security guard? And do you believe race was a factor in the officers' decision to deploy their weapon?
Well, there was a call that it was a shooting in a nightclub, so several municipalities sent officers. This officer was a SWAT officer. He's on the South Suburban SWAT team. I don't want to infuse race into this, but this gentleman arrived on the scene, as I was told by numerous witnesses, that he was told before he fired that Jemel was security, he's security, he's security. In fact, just prior to that, the same officer confronted another security officer in the bar who was shot on the ground, and this security officer informed me that he thought he was going to be shot by this officer, and he yelled to the officer, no, I'm security, look, I'm security. And then he jumped out, the officer jumped off the bar, went to the side entrance where he saw Jemel out in the parking lot, and again, raised his rifle, and people were yelling, no, he's security, and he fired.
Certainly doesn't sound like typical procedure we hear about in covering these cases, but we'll have to leave it there for now. Mr. Kulis, I'm wondering if you can please extend our sympathies to the family during this holiday season.
I will. Again, this is a young man who I believe was a hero and did his job, and a lot of people don't do their jobs. This gentleman did his job and unfortunately was killed doing it.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.